the terrifying reality of why we actually need to dream every night. The provocative warning. You think sleep is a time for your brain to rest, but you are actually entering a state of controlled madness. Every night, your mind is forced to simulate terrifying horrors just to prevent a total cognitive collapse. If you stop these nightly hallucinations, you lose the ability to distinguish reality from your own internal chaos. The biological thriller. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's a violent biological necessity where your brain stress tests your psyche against simulated nightmares. This process prunes toxic neural connections that would otherwise destroy your sanity. Without this mandatory descent into insanity, your mind would literally shatter under the weight of its own unfiltered thoughts. The scientific mystery. What if I told you that dreaming is the only thing stopping you from permanent mental decay? Your brain isn't sleeping. It is fighting a war against cognitive collapse by simulating a state of psychosis. We're exploring the terrifying reality of why your survival depends on experiencing a hallucination every single night. We like to believe that sleep is peaceful, that it's a quiet shutdown where the body simply recovers. But the truth is far more intense. The moment we enter REM sleep, the brain erupts into activity, firing in chaotic patterns that rival our waking state. It's not rest, it's controlled chaos. And there's a reason your body is temporarily paralyzed during this phase. Without that built-in shutdown, you would physically act out the storm happening inside your mind. Dreaming isn't just random imagery, it's a necessary descent into a controlled form of madness. Each night, your brain hallucinates, distorts reality, and runs wild scenarios, not by accident, but by design. This is how it maintains balance. It prunes weak neural connections, clears out unnecessary patterns, and reinforces what matters. In a way, your mind chooses hallucination as a tool, because only in that unfiltered state can it reorganize itself and stay functional. Nightmares, as terrifying as they feel, are not flaws in the system, they're features. They act as survival simulations, pushing your emotional limits in a safe environment. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, becomes highly active, preparing you for threats that may never come. By confronting fear in dreams, your mind builds resilience. And when this process is disrupted, when those tests don't happen, your ability to handle stress in the real world begins to weaken. Without proper REM sleep, the boundary between dreams and reality starts to blur. The brain, deprived of its nightly reset, begins to leak fragments of that dream state into waking life. Over time, the buildup of unprocessed mental noise can lead to serious cognitive damage. What we call sanity is not a constant, but it's something rebuilt every night. And without embracing the strange, chaotic world of dreams, that fragile balance begins to fall apart. So the next time you close your eyes, remember, you're not escaping reality, you're maintaining it. Sleep isn't a passive state of rest, but an active, essential process where your mind descends into chaos to rebuild order. The dreams you forget, the nightmares you fear, they are all part of what keeps you grounded, stable, human. And maybe the real danger isn't in what happens when we sleep, but in what happens when we don't.